Demonstrators in China have gathered in about 90 cities, including Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. They've been protesting for 8 days now. They're outraged about the Japanese government's nationalization of the Senkaku Islands in the East China Sea.
Chinese flags, anti-Japan chants, and water bottles thrown at the Japanese embassy in Beijing. Hundreds of Chinese protesters voiced their anger over the current territorial dispute involving islands in the East China Sea. Protesters also came out in several cities across the country in China's worst outbreak of anti-Japan sentiment since 2005. Tuesday's protests were further fueled by the anniversary of the 1931 incident that triggered Japan's invasion of Manchuria in northeast China.
There's hundreds, if not thousands, of protesters here. Many of them are chanting "Declare war on Japan." That said, it is being very well policed. Along the side of the street, there are riot police, and then in front of the embassy, there are also riot police there as well. So the authorities are taking measures, but as I'm talking, those plastic bottles continue to fly over the fence in the direction of the Japanese embassy. So the authorities, while they are condoning allowing these protests to go ahead, they are making sure that the violence, if you like, doesn't get out of control.
Japanese companies are suspending their operations in China. Japan's decision to buy a set of disputed islands has triggered a week of protests and attacks on Japanese businesses inside China.
Honda, Nissan, Toyota and Mazda have shut down some or all of their plants in China. Electronics giant Panasonic closed 3 locations on Monday. Meantime, some Chinese state media are calling for a boycott of travel to Japan.
Responding to the violence, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesman said the government would protect Japanese businesses and urged protesters to respect the law.
The row centres over the island chain which Tokyo calls Senkaku. They're known as the Diaoyu Islands by the Chinese, who argue the Japanese claim dates back to when its army invaded China in the 19th century. Japan's Coast Guard said earlier that Beijing has sent 11 warships to the islands, which are rich in fishing stocks and close to maritime oil and gas fields. The last time Chinese vessels entered the area, anti-China protests were held in Japan. This rally took place in the capital, Tokyo, earlier.